Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some new affordable makeup launches. Most of these are really affordable and a lot of you guys were waiting for me to try this out. I was waiting to get my hands on this as well and try it out and test it out because they looked interesting as well. Let us see if it is actually worth your money, time, your research and everything. So I do have a couple of makeup launches, the newer launches from Blue Heaven, and then I have some Cuffs and Lashes products, and then a few products here and there that are not new launches as such but newer to my makeup collection. So let's get going. The first one we're going to be talking about is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil. So this one is a lightweight non-greasy finish. This one retails for 650 rupees, but you can always find this on at least a flat 30% off. So this one, I got this in the shade medium tan, and I feel like I'm not sure what out of words actually. Let me compose my thoughts first. Okay, this is not something that suits medium tan skin tones for sure. It's a little bit like gray toned and very light on the skin, and I feel like this is my biggest tip with Wet n Wild as such. Most of their products are not warm enough, not even neutral, they're just straight up ashy on the skin, and they mention that this is for medium tan skin, and I can't understand how this would work for medium tan skin tones. It is pretty lightweight, it's a beautiful formula, it looks really nice on the skin, and the coverage is like light medium. It's sort of like a skin tint, right? So you have to keep it natural looking, but because of that undertone, I don't like to build on this as much, and it's just like a little bit of a white cast on my skin, just like I'm using a physical sunscreen, and not much of a coverage. So I'm not a very big fan of this. I know a lot of people really like this, but it's my personal opinion, and you guys know how much I look for warmth in a certain product. I want warmer undertones because I have warm undertones in my skin, and I can't wear something that looks grey and ashy on my skin. So this is definitely not for me, but of course, if you want to try it out, you can. It does take a little bit of a time to. In the next skin tint that we have, I mean, like, when brands pick on something, everyone's launching something similar, right? This one is from Blue Heaven, and this one is their hydrating skin tint. Let me show you guys the packaging of all the Blue Heaven products. This is how they come in. Really nice color coordination. All of the products that they've launched recently come in the same packaging. I mean, it is to cut costs, you save money. So this is their Fresh and Flawless Hydrating Skin Tint with Hyaluronic Acid, Sunscreen, and it's an anti-pollution skin tint. It is available in 7 shades. So this one retails for 350 rupees. Again, you can find Blue Heaven products on discount. Irrespective of if I am saying this or not, pick up any product on discount. And if a product doesn't ever come on discount, I don't think it's worth picking it up. So this is made in India, and you get 28 ml of product. So this is what the skin tint looks like. Really nice packaging. It's like a lock. So if you turn it this way, it's locked, and if you open it like this, you can use the pump. So the only problem with this is that I picked this one up in the shade Caramel, and it's extremely like olive toned. Of course, if you have like neutral sort of leaning towards olive undertones in your skin, you would really like this skin tint. It would match you really well. But for me, again, like I mentioned, all of the times I need a little bit more warmth because this looks a little ashy on my skin, but it looked beautiful. Okay, you have to keep this at light to light medium coverage. Do not try to build on this one too much. So I first took like one full pump, and then I tried to apply it. It gave me like light coverage, and when I tried to build on it, I needed about like 2.5 pumps to get it to light medium coverage, and then I observed that it was starting to look a little bit powdery. So that's where you draw the line. Okay, so the product is not very buildable. You draw the line right there and just leave it at that, and it would look really good. One thing I want to mention is this is an everyday product, yes, but if you want to photograph your skin with this, it does have white cast to it. Most of the times it's not just a flashback, it is also that the foundation or the product you've used, the base product you used, hasn't matched your skin really well, so it look a little bit gray and ashy and like white in the pictures. So a apart from that, it's a really nice product, and I think you would really like this irrespective of your skin type. If you have dry skin, like I mentioned, keep it at light coverage, and if you have like combination oily skin type, I think you can build it up to light medium and it wouldn't look too powdery and cakey on your skin, and it lasts beautifully. It gives you that very natural finish, and it's something that if you're someone who likes to wear like makeup that doesn't look very heavy on the skin, something that looks nice and lightweight and like very minimal makeup, and your no makeup products, you can incorporate this into that kind of routine. And so yeah, I'm so glad that brands are coming up with really good makeup launches in India. And you know, these are some things that gets me excited to even sit down and review some products. Sometimes, you know, it gets mundane, it gets redundant, you're using the same products time and again, and sometimes newer launches do not appeal to me. But launches like this I have been impressed with, and it's especially because it is affordable. But I would have liked to try out another shade. Let me check out what are the other shades that they have. So looks like I have picked up the darkest shade, that is caramel, and it still doesn't work for my skin tone. So they have a couple of shades, honey tan. I'm not sure who it would match, but if it is displayed on the Blue Heaven foundation in terms of the order of how dark the shade is, caramel seems like the darkest one, and I don't think it's very inclusive. So if you are deeper than my skin tone, I'm not sure if you would find a shade for yourself, which that is a bummer. They could have just, you know, launched a couple of more shades. Like anyways, you launch so many shades that are going to look pretty much similar to each other. Why not launch a couple of deeper shades? That is a bummer with this particular product. Let's move on to the next one that we have. This one is the Blue Heaven Kiss and Blush Lippin Cheek Tint. This is infused with avocado oil and mango butter. So this is what the blush stick looks like. I love this particular product. Such an amazing product. Now this retails for 250 rupees, such an affordable price tag, yet it feels so good on the skin. It's so glowy and nice, and you have a couple of nude shades as well if you want to use it just as a blush as opposed to like a lip tint. So I picked up this one in the shade Roasted Berry and Rosy Dusk. So Roasted Berry is a warm pink shade, and Rosy Dusk is also like a pink shade. Okay, they're very similar, so pick up either one of that, and it looks really nice. So it's what I have on my face right now as well, and I love that dewiness that it adds on. I love that subtle wash of color and that glowy look that it adds on to my skin. I really like it. Now using this as a lip tint, I'm not a very big fan of. All of these creamy kind of products, I'm not a very big fan of using them as a lip tint as such. Because they're not anyways as long lasting as a lipstick, they're not as pigmented, and they just move around quite a bit and sometimes even dry your lips out. So I just use these specifically as a blush. And then another product I want to talk to you guys about is the Blue Heaven Sculpt and Set Brow Gel. So this one, I got this one in the shade brown. They have just two shades, brown and gray. So this also retails for 250 rupees. This sets your eyebrow hair in place. I have like bushy eyebrows, and most of the times the eyebrow hair just like fall and droop, but this one is able to hold it in place and add a subtle color. Okay, but it's not a very good match for my natural hair color. So if you get gray, I think it would be a little bit too dark, and brown might be a little bit too light, but it matches pretty well. I mean, you can't make out a stark difference, but it does take a little bit of a time for you to mesh the product in and blend it in, and then it looks really good. It holds it in place, and if you're using some other like eyebrow definer, like an eyebrow pencil or a pomade, and then you want to set it in place, you can use this, and I think it would keep it in place really well. Just that the shades are not that good. Like if you get gray, I think it'll be too much. That's the reason I always refrain from using black gray, because I have pretty thick eyebrows and it'll just look so stark like that. So I stay away from that. And then we have the Blue Heaven Silk and Stain Lip Tint. So this one, I got this in just one shade, I think Raspberry Love, and this is a nice like subtle pinkish red shade, and it is quite long lasting. It gives you a nice tint. So with a tint, you can't expect a lot of pigmentation. It stays in place, it doesn't really move around as much, and it leaves a good tint. And when you start eating something, and especially if you're eating something a little bit like moist or oily, it does fade away eventually, but yeah, it's easier to reapply as well with a lip tint. So if you are looking for a lip tint that is better than the Benefit lip tints, you know, that was such a big disappointment. I forgot to include that in my previous disappointing products video, but that was such a big disappointment because it was really runny and I was not able to get the pigment to show up on my lips. But this one does show up really well, really affordable, and it stays in place. And then another product that I tried out is the Blue Heaven Lush and Juicy Lip Plumping Wand. So this is again infused with avocado oil and vitamin E. Now this has a very subtle color to it. I got this one in the shade Mauve Tint, and so you can top it off with your lipstick shades, whichever shade you want, and you can use this, or you can use this on its own, but it's a very light wash of color, and I feel like it's a beautiful lip gloss. It looks really nice, juicy. It gives a little bit of that plumpy look to your lips, but it's not very sticky and it's not a mess, you know. So it's a really nice lip gloss for the price. This is again for rupees 300. It has a very subtle like tingling burning sensation, maybe because they want this to be a plumping lip gloss, but I feel like, you know, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Like I have tried out the Too Faced plumping product. What is that called? Extreme yeah, you get the gist, right? The lip plumper, and I feel like that was not as uncomfortable as this one is, because that does tingle for a bit and then it settles down, but this one, it leaves that tingling burning sensation on for quite a bit, and it might like freak you out, or it might make you a little bit uncomfortable, just letting you know. And that's the only thing, but apart from that, it's a beautiful lip gloss. It's not very sticky. That's what I like. I hate it when lip gloss just like stick to each other and create a mess. It's not my favorite, but this one was pretty good for the price. I really liked it. So the next one we have is the Blue Heaven Erase and Enhance Concealer Pen. So this is in this packaging that reminds me of the Maybelline concealer pen. So this is similar, very similar to the Maybelline concealer pen, where it gives you very light coverage, light coverage. So it's what I have underneath my eyes, but I had to layer it up quite a bit, and it doesn't really look very dry or cakey, but just that the darkness starts peeking through really fast. But like if you have very light dark circles, the irony, the oxymoron in that, light dark circles, or like not too much of a pigmentation, you would really like this. There are people like that who don't really have like stark pigmentation, dark under eye circles. So in that case, you would really like it because it stays in place. You don't really have to set it as much as well. It's not cakey. It's not like drying your under eye area out. It gives you a very light coverage, light to light medium coverage, and looks natural on the skin. In that case, you would really like it. I really like the shade that I picked up as well. I got the shade Honey, and it was a pretty good match. This one is quite expensive compared to all the other products. This one was for 400 rupees, which I feel like could have been a little bit more affordable. And you would tend to use up this concealer a little bit faster than all of your other concealers, because you tend to push out a lot more product. You would tend to use it up a little bit more because of the mechanism of it. Should you absolutely pick this one up? I would say no, you can avoid it, because we have pretty good concealers in the market. You can just stick to your Maybelline Instant Age Divine concealer or so many other concealers. You can try out the Insight concealers that I've recommended in my previous videos. You can check out all of my other previous videos about affordable makeup recommendations, and you can stick to that. I think you can avoid this one because of the aforesaid reasons. And then next up we have the Blue Heaven Volumizing Mascara 10X. I'm not sure if this is a new launch, but this one is for 90 rupees. That's the reason I picked it up. It's a pretty decent mascara. It's quite similar to the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, where it doesn't add a lot of length and not a lot of volume. So if you're not looking for too much of a length or like really good volume, you would really like this. Like if you are familiar with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Colossal Mascara, it's quite similar to that. Nothing great, but not too bad as well. And yeah, this is how the wand is. After that, I also picked up another one, which is called the Blue Heaven HD all-in-one makeup stick. So this one is said to be like a foundation, concealer, contour, color corrector kind of a product. I wouldn't recommend this for like foundation and everything, because it is sort of like a thicker formulation where it might cling on to your skin a little bit differently, especially if you have a little bit of texture and acne and everything. So I got this thinking that I can use this as a contour product. I got this one in the shade Toffee. It's almost like very similar to my skin tone with a little bit of a peachy undertone. So I can't use this as a bronzer as such. So I'm not sure if they have any other deeper shade, but the formula to use it as a contour product is really nice and very blendable. Again, wouldn't recommend this for all over the face. You can try it out, of course, but it might be a little bit like clingy and thick and cakey on your skin. So with that, we pretty much cover all the Blue Heaven products that I picked up. Let's move on to the Cuffs and Lashes products that were sent to me by the brand, and I have tested it out. First up, we have the Let's Go Tinting Tint. Okay, this is what the packaging looks like, which looks really nice. Now this one retails for 325 rupees and you get 10 grams of product, which is pretty good. And these were sent to me in 2 shades. One is called 90s and the other one is called Barbie. So this is how the packaging works, pretty similar to all of your other tints. So this is the shade Barbie, which is again a pink, and I also have the shade called 90s, which I did use in the demo today as well. So it's a deeper pink shade and it's what I used. So this is really pigmented and it's a really nice tint, but I found it to be a little bit harder to blend it on my cheek. Like if you're familiar with my take on the Rene Lippin cheek tint, I like that because it's very blendable, especially when you're using it on your face. It just blends in no time and it gives you a really nice dewy finish. This one is a little bit harder to blend and it's not as dewy looking on the skin, but it's pretty pigmented and you can use this on your lips as well. So on the lips, again, they are pretty pigmented, but not super pigmented. So I have like dark patches on my lip because I usually like peel out the skin from my lips, which is not a good habit. Not proud of it, but I do that. My lips are flaking at the moment and they don't look the best with these kind of products. I need a little bit more pigmentation, but if you have like beautiful, soft, supple lips, you can wear this. It's creamy, it'll look really nice. And then we have my favorite from the brand, their liquid lipstick. So they did also send me their lip glosses, which I haven't tried it out yet because I am a matte liquid lipstick person. I haven't still moved away from it yet because I still do wear them out. And if I wear anything glossy, it gets onto my mask. It's a mess. It bleeds. So I like these a lot more. So I have this in 2 shade Royalty, which is a beautiful orange tone red, nothing like I have in my collection. It is quite unique and beautiful, pigmented, long wearing, comfortable. And I also have the shade Soho, which is what I have on my lips right now. I also have another shade which I have swatched in my 25 nude lipsticks video. I will link it right here, but these are the 2 shades I have been loving. I like how pigmented this is and it's not patchy at all, and it's such a dark shade, such a dark reddish brown shade, but it's not patchy. It can dry your lips out depending on how dry your lips are. So if you're someone who has dry lips, and if you don't really like matte liquid lipsticks, you wouldn't really like this. So I have a little bit of tolerance towards dryness as such because I can use a lot of liquid lipsticks. I've used liquid lipsticks that are super dry and I don't really complain about it that much until and unless, you know, they bleed, create a mess and are patchy. Yeah, it's so nice. Except for that, it leaves a little bit of that rim towards the inner part of my lips. That's because dryness, and I'm talking quite a lot. And I really like the applicator of this. It gives you really good precision. It's something I really want to appreciate. And so yeah, this one retails for I think 225 rupees, which is really good and affordable. And this is the outer packaging in which these liquid lipsticks come in. And they also have like a peephole right here for you guys to see the color of the liquid lipstick in case you are storing them in the outer uni carton, which a lot of people do that. So yeah, with that we pretty much complete all of the reviews of some of the newer launches and something that you guys wanted me to try out as well. Let me know if you have already tried out these products, or if you're looking to try out any product, let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.